Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. Upper left-hand corner, we got Sterling starting as the red Terran. Upper right-hand corner, we got Doodle starting as the gray Protoss. This is on Retro, and this is Starcon 2024. Replays that didn't make it to the mainstream. This is the Underground cast, not mainstream. This is going to be Doodle versus Sterling. Doodle starting, really actually got to talk to Doodle here and there. Kind of a shy guy, but a fierce competitor. Obviously a BSL Hasu League champion, so he kind of has a... I feel like I had a lot of my champions there. I had him, I had Exit, and actually those are the two guys, after seeing their play and knowing a lot about them and what they could do, they're the two that I thought were going to surprise a lot of people. In fact, when I was walking through the hallways, I told Doodle heads up, I'm like, you're my dark horse, and I feel pretty... I felt very confident in that statement. Sterling, on the opposite side, I have not seen a lot of Sterling's play. I know Sterling is a formidable opponent, however. In Kaylee, he went on an absolute tear the day before. Had an absolutely fantastic stage of games. It looks like he's setting up for a potential front door seal, maybe going to go 4 racks into expansion. You can... usually you'll see the supply depot here, the barracks underneath, and this additional supply depot here, so I'll be interested to see how that front door ends up solidifying. Doodle, in the meantime, going for more of a defensive gateway, keeping it a little bit away from his front door, so I'm wondering if he's going to skip the initial Zealot in the early stages of his build, so Simulator dropping down. So yeah, it's going to be a barracks alongside. So yeah, not going for a full front door seal right off the bat, instead opting for, so I presume there's going to be an initial Marine constructed, more building it so there can be a little bit of Marine dodging in between the supply depot and the bunker near the main, although I'm trying to think if that's Zealot tight. I think that is Zealot tight. We'll see in a minute, potentially. Cybernetics core warping in along that backhand edge. Doodle placing it there just in case vultures manage to sneak in. They try to... I don't know why people instinctually kind of go behind the mineral lines, but oftentimes they do. In the meantime, Doodle going to the bottom right-hand corner to scout first. Bottom left-hand corner scout here from Sterling. So both players going to come across each other late. So right now Sterling does have the 400 minerals, and it looks like he is in fact going to skip the additional supply depot and going ahead and skipping the initial Marine, and instead dropping that command center to go for as greedy a build as possible here. So this isn't exactly the cross-spawn Nexus first of Terran, but it's pretty close to it, and it's very difficult for Protoss to punish as far as a follow-up. We have a Dragoon, instant Dragoon build though, so no initial Zealot whatsoever, and range also being queued up here from Doodle. So Doodle also, oftentimes the initial Zealot helps, one, punish this, but also it helps prevent some of the, or provide a little bit of additional padding against early Marine Vulture tank. You just have a few more units to throw out there. Bunker towards the forward front in construction, and it looks like Sterling went from the bottom left to top right scout, so he's going to end up running into that Dragoon headlong. It looks like Doodle... good instincts on it, so drawing back, getting some good damage, and just check it. That's kind of an interesting pattern. Kind of curious why he's opted to go along that interior, maybe to avoid some units out there. Anyway, SCV is making its way up bottom left. First Marine in the bunker, so not only, this is a great opener here from Sterling. I don't know if Doodle's going to have the instinct to go like, okay, that was just a Marine in there. Doodle's going to have to make his way all the way in. Yeah, to make sure that command center was there. It's going to shred a little bit of shield on that Dragoon, but as far as the length of time it took for Doodle to be able to detect that that was a command center first build, that was about the maximum length you can hope for. There's still this SCV out in the field that can go back, and Doodle unfortunately keeping the Dragoon pinned back towards the ramp. If he staged it a little bit forward, with that 10 damage, he might be able to put Sterling a little bit more in the dark. And it looks like we do have a probe making its way out. I'm wondering if this is a heads-up play from Doodle. Oh, he's going to have an up. Oh, I missed it! Okay, does the Dragoon come down now? Yes, the Dragoon comes down. So this is actually pretty big. So all Sterling sees in response is a pylon. So he has no idea what's going on. And he does know that range completed at the very least, but doesn't have a lot of information otherwise. Second Dragoon making its way to the front. So second SCV already pinned to the front to go ahead and provide some information. We do have, it looks like 2 factories, a machine shop behind this in the meantime. Yeah, SCV's a little bit, as far as where they need to engage, in a third SCV a little bit early. Yeah, taking some damage based on the positioning of all this. And it might be a free SCV kill. Nice little adjustment there on Sterling to get behind 3rd Dragoon, now making its way up. First siege tank, gonna be a minute though. It's kind of a secondary aspect of all this. The barracks is gonna float forward and provide some support. 4th SCV on there just to make sure that bunker does in fact fall. Doodle in the meantime, gonna go ahead and tack on a 2nd gateway. Citadel of Adun looks like he's gonna head for a Dark Templar drop in the midst of this. He's got the robotics, he's got that Templar archives, he's got the Citadel of Adun. Most definitely wants to try to get some damage done. 3 Dragoons. The SCV occasionally forgetting to repair that bunker. Okay, now got to be careful with the siege tank. Now, the one question for Sterling now is, okay, these Dragoons have been wailing against this. Where's the 4th Dragoon? And the question with this is, okay, the 4th Dragoon might have gone into a faster command center, or that 4th Dragoon might have gone into some form of tech out in the field. We've got mines and speed upgrading, a couple of vultures behind this, but are there going to be mines planted to deal with the potential Dark Templar? 2 Dark Templar already constructed. That shuttle going to be out. Wonderful timing here as far as the build order for Doodle, just to be able to scoop them up. As soon as that shuttle's produced, Dark Templar can just go to the north and get about as fast a drop situation, and mines are going to finish by the time the Dark Templar reach that base. Sterling chasing those Dragoons back. Not much of a threat from that high ground, though. The 3 Marines beat a single Dragoon, not 3 Dragoons, and that single siege tank wouldn't be enough to make up the difference. But Sterling, you got to wonder, okay, where's the rest of Doodle's attack force? Did that go into a 3rd? And Doodle, interestingly enough, and sorry, I missed the dropship the opposite direction. I even missed the starport being built. We have a Wraith being built on top of this, and I don't see mines getting dropped in the main at all. The vultures were in the dropship, so now the one form of detection is gone, and that might be the GG moment. Does Doodle notice that he can drop an SCV and stop that engineering bay from being built? Very likely. So vultures now sweeping through. This is going to be a tough defense on the opposite side. Oh, not the best initial mine placement here. The additional mines, however, great. Probes right off the line. Great defense. In the meantime, Dark Templar absolutely... well, actually, did the Dark Templar get taken care of? Where are the Dark Templar? They walked all the way to the natural expansion to do damage there. So not only a beautiful defense with probes to try to negate the mines there, the 2nd engineering bay getting interrupted, and the academy interrupted at the main. So Doodle, with some follow-up micro, it looks like that shuttle does get taken out by the Wraith, and a couple mines were planted in the main, but absolute devastation on the opposite side of the map. And keep in mind, cutting to see, as I was talking about, like, hey, where's the... wonder if Doodle was thinking the opposite direction, like, okay, where are the additional tanks on the map, or where the vulture is on top of everything else. So a couple mines have been planted, but Doodle getting great value out of these Dark Templar. If he spreads them out, took a lot of damage on those initial 2. If he spreads them out, might even be able to get some bonus damage, or maybe even filters a Zealot forward to eat some additional mines. Might be able to get a good play out of this. And ooh, getting a nice... wow, actually even able to get some additional damage out of that mine spread, killing key vultures and a little bit of an early maneuver there. Oh man, explosive damage self-inflicted on the SCV line. That could have been a lot worse. Still a shutdown natural expansion, and a 3rd base already grabbed from Doodle. More Dragoons making their way to the front. And I don't think this is holdable for Sterling anymore. So honestly, this is kind of just... and we got the Observer already in position to clear the mines. That's going to be a dead command center very likely. We don't have any siege tanks. So Doodle, with, first of all, a nice build order to go up against Sterling here. Kind of unfortunate for Sterling in that regard, but also secondarily some beautiful execution from Doodle. Starting to pressure in again, another mine drag. Really has been on top of it with the mine drags, and Sterling so hyper focused on dealing with those Dark Templar. Just now getting his first siege tank up, and he's got a lot of territory that is not even his, and this is against a 3-base economy. Another shuttle's been produced. So that siege tank maybe not long for life, and we already have an Arbiter Tribunal and a Stargate behind this. So, and Doodle taking down that machine shop to prevent additional siege tanks from taking the field. The Wraith might have provided, would provide some support against potential shuttle incursions. But this is still 1 factory versus what will soon be 4 gateway on, well, Doodle playing a little bit greedy here and not dropping a lot of additional gateway. Point being, Doodle way ahead. And insurmountably so. Right now, I'm wondering if Sterling is just kind of doing the tournament thing where it's like when you know you're in a best of versus your opponent, try to wear them out, give them as hard a time as possible in victory conditions. Use that time to kind of think about your strategy and what you can potentially adjust in game to game here. But anyway, 3 o'clock base up and running. Doodle's got nearly double the economy of his opponent. Looks like the Observer is going to be able to be picked off by Sterling. A couple buildings burning in the background, though. 5 factory response. This is going to be 5 factories on 1 base, however. And I'm not sure if that's max production on 1 base. I'm pretty sure 4 factories is max production. 2 machine shops, or, well, I guess with the single machine shop, maybe you can sneak more vultures. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I think with the single machine shop, you can go 1 siege tank and then 4 vulture complement. So it looks like Sterling wants to try to resaturate that natural expansion. Well, no, I take that back. I'm pretty sure on 1 base, 3 factories. This is where Titan math ends up a little bit weird. So he's got, never mind, because he does have the natural expansion now. But I'm pretty sure, a nice recovery by Sterling, by the way, to get some of that, just try to plop down a lot of units to be in a position to maybe where you can go for a counterattack or some sort of timing if he gets lucky. I don't think it's going to happen, though. He's just going to get swarmed in a minute. But I do believe it's 2.5 factories effectively. That's like 1 factory with the machine shop and 2 factories producing vultures per expansion. I think once you have 2 machine shops, I think 3 machine shops is maximum production off 2 bases for just straight siege tanks or something along those lines. Don't quote me on... I should look this stuff up, honestly. Sorry for the black screen there for a half second. But anyway, something along those lines. Good pickoff of the Observer, at least. I think Sterling's what he's hoping now is I'm just going to shell up, try to max out. In the meantime, ooh, Zealot Bomb, by the way, in the meantime, over the natural, and the Dragoons just marching in on top of it. I was going to say, Sterling was hoping to just sit back and max out in the midst of this, but Doodle not giving him any breathing room. Zealot's already on top of the siege tanks. Dragoon's already atop the siege tanks as well, creating some additional havoc. 1 siege tank remains. So any hopes of sitting back and resupplying have been shattered. A couple mines again defensively laid at the ramp line. Command center once again lifted off. The Zealot's going to get a... Ooh, that was lucky that that mine didn't explode right at that location, because that would have been massive damage. And again, Sterling having to use SCVs now to try to defend himself. An Observer with Observer speed now there to clear some of these mines. The siege tank might be able to, well, it's going to be able to push the Dragoons out, but this is now a 4th base up for Doodle. He's got all sorts of gateways. He can play Gateway Man from here if he wants. He's also getting Arbiters up. Yeah, this is just Sterling, again, just kind of sitting back and trying to tax Doodle a little bit, and Doodle kind of going through the motions. He's just you can see he's already just making sure that no additional base has been grabbed. He's got a massive army to work with. You can just wait for 1 stasis, and a single stasis should end the game entirely. Keep an eye out on the exterior. You got 3 more siege tanks. Yeah. At this stage, Sterling, I'm trying to think. I think you can go up to 7 factories off 2 bases and run it. Going back on the Terran math here. Zealots with Zealot leg speed charging forward, by the way, with +1 weapons. +1 weapons, +1 armor actually finished for Sterling. So, able to get that done. And we got Cloaking Arbiter storming forward. There's that stasis I was talking about, which leaves a single siege... Sorry, 2 siege tanks here in the background. Viable, but not a lot else. And we got Dark Templar storming in underneath this, and no Science Vessel as of yet, so... Yeah, there's GG. So Sterling trying to tax it a little bit. Got to talk a little bit, probably poorly, about Terran economics in the midst of this. Hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. We're going to go into Game 2, Doodle versus Sterling. Could have gone differently, given different build orders here in the beginning. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.